people. Welcome back to Shasta Speaks. Happy Saturday. I hope your day is going amazing. I just wanted to hop on here. Give me a second. My microphone's acting crazy. Okay. I just wanted to hop on here really quickly and talk about the recordings that Lexi's been doing. Lexi McCollum, if you don't know who that is the daughter of Chris Fletcher from Love and Marriage Huntsville. She was infamously known from the dinner scene a couple seasons ago, one or two, maybe one season ago. Y'all know how they be doing these seasons and carrying on and have the numbers all screwed up. So yeah, y'all know though, it's kind of like the dinner scene where they introduced us to the Fletcher family, and they had Lexi and her husband come up, and it went off the rails. It went to the left, to the left, to the left. Okay. Anyway, so she took a little time. Okay. She took some time. She's done, um did some work on herself, and shortly after that she had done an interview. Um but I think what she's doing now is addressing all these things. She's got I think they're chapters. Chapter 1, chapter 2, and each chapter is about a different person. I think the first chapter was about Nell Fletcher, which is her stepmom. Um, I think the second chapter, what was the second chapter? Um, I think the second chapter was about the siblings, which are like all, the child that had, and then I think her half brothers and sisters. Um, chapters three, chapter 3, there was a part 1 and a part 2 that was about Chris Fletcher, her bio dad. Chapter 4 was the family history. Chapter 5 is the infamous dinner on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then chapter 6, she talks about the interview that she did with Giving You the Real Tea. He's a well-known YouTuber. And she did it. That was, I do believe, the one and only interview that she's done per se on YouTube. It was with him. And so she talked about that interview, and why she chose to do the interview with him and all of that. I'm just coming on here. I'm not necessarily going to recap all of the chapters, because what I want to do and what I need to do is go back and listen to listen to them again. It's a lot to ingest. Um, Her story, she's a phenomenal storyteller. The way she lays it out there and gets it out there is amazing. Um, but I'm gonna be honest, it is hard for me. Like, I've had to stop and start again with some of them. And so I need to get through the rest of them. And, and that's simply because some of it is just triggering for me on a personal level. Okay. And so, you know, uh, certain parts you get to, and I'm just like, oh my God. And you start thinking about and running things through your head, and uh, on a personal level, some of it was triggering for me. Um, but I do want to, in general, talk about Chris Fletcher. Chris Chris Fletcher, her bio dad, and a little bit about Miss Nell. Um, you know, and let me say this. All things discussed on my channel are alleged and in my very own opinion, and they are for entertainment purposes only. Okay? All right. I believe when I say every, I mean every effing thing that Lexi is saying about these Fletchers. Something about them just has always had my spirit feeling funny. Like something about them just was like, I don't know about them. And my feeling like that about them goes all the way back to when they were calling themselves mentoring Martell and Melody. And I just was like, some in the milk ain't clean with these two. And it's like little stuff started trickling out and this and that. And, you know, you hear little stuff, nothing really clarified or anything like that. But then when they actually were on the show more and, certain stuff came out and um Martell, saying that Miss Nail was a side chick and this and that. And, even as, like this season when it came up about Chris being the one to initiate the whole Martell and Tristan, like I started running it back in my head and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I always knew that Chris was trash. And I always felt that Miss Nail wasn't shit either. I don't know how I would say that. I always felt like they wasn't shit, like on a real level. Let me tell you something. Lexi said, I think in the first video when she was talking about Miss Nail, she talked about how she didn't pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was pretty much like, I wasn't trying to like have it with her because she talked about how Miss Nail could fight. It might have been in the one about Miss Nail, but in one of the videos, she talked about how Miss Nail could fight. And then she had saw her, you know what I'm saying, in action or whatever. Listen, Miss Nail looked like she was out here pushing bitches' heads between washers and dryers about Chris Dan Fletcher. She gives that. She looked like that. She looked like she's not above doing that. I see that. And she loud and active at this big age that she is now. I already know she was a monster when she was younger. 20, 30-year-old now? Oh, baby, hell no. I know Miss Nell was out here giving women the blues about that damn trifling ass man. I know she was. I know she was. All that hollering and shit she be doing now. I can only imagine. I can only freaking imagine. That's why at that dinner scene, when she went to, you know what I'm saying, when she hollered and told Lexi to shut up, and everybody just kind of, they looked like that shit was normal. Cause it was her loud hollering, blah, blah, blah. But that in that moment also told me that was another example that Chris wasn't shit. Cause how you gonna let this woman holler at your child. And I don't care that Lexi is a grown woman. You could have, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, kicked your foot under the table and kicked her foot and kind of looked at her or something to let her know. No, like he just sat there, stone faced while this woman hollered at her. So, and that's at this big age. So I already know that that girl didn't get no type of, you know, love and affection from that woman. I think Miss Nail was jealous of Lexi's mother. And I think that that jealousy is why she didn't want Chris to have a good relationship with Lexi. And I'm going to tell you this right here. Any MF man that sits there and lets a woman dictate and come between the relationship he has with his child is a BAN. And y'all already know what BAN is. Y'all know what that stands for. And that's what Chris Fletcher is. Because all he did was sit there and let Miss Nell control everything, control the narrative, control what type of relationship he was going to have with his child, which ended up pretty much being non-existent for the most part. Okay, maybe it's because he didn't have the finances. Maybe it's because she was the one holding the purse, or whatever the case may be. But guess what? It ain't enough excuses, baby. It's not enough excuses. If you are a man and you laid down and you made a child, that child, whether that child is in the household with you or not, that child is still number one, your responsibility, and number two, they want a relationship with you. Relationships between moms and dads sometimes split up. It happens. It happens. Divorces happen, breakups happen, kids end up over here and over here. It happens. Good men figure out how to have a relationship with the children in their house and their children that they have that are now outside their house. That's what a good father does. That's what a real man does. He figures it out. And if the woman, the new woman that he is with, gets in the way, interferes, interjects, he be like, no, 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 B. You gotta that's my child. And if you have a problem with me having a relationship with my child, then we I don't know where we go from here. It don't matter, you know, what's going I really truly believe that it's not even a monetary thing. I think so many men get hung up on the monetary aspect of it when a lot of times all these kids want is time. They just want to see you. They just want you to be there a little bit, not even a lot. Not even a lot. Like for real, they just want a little bit of you. Because 9 times out of 10, the mamas is holding them down already. And Lexi talked about her mother and how her mother was amazing. So she wasn't lacking. She talked about her stepfather and how he's amazing. And that's who she calls her dad. And she wasn't lacking. So it's not about, she was good. And if we keeping it 100, she turned out a hell of a lot better than them spoiled ass, entitled ass overgrown ass people sitting at that table at that dinner. Them other children that they sat there and raised. She turned out a hell of a lot better than them. Argue with you, argue with amongst yourselves if you think differently. But yeah, but you know, it's about time. It's about spending a week saying, I'm gonna come pick you up. We're gonna go get ice cream, we're gonna catch a movie, blah blah blah. It ain't gotta be a lot of times, dog, it ain't even gotta be a full day of shit you doing. That child just wants to set eyes on their daddy, get a hug. g- I'm telling you, niggas can really, really, really do the bare minimum a lot of times with their kids, and their kids gonna be over the moon, and they so stupid. They don't even realize it. They don't realize it. And then, like I said, you have a woman over here that's already mad because he done stepped out. So she mad, and she mad at everybody. She mad at the world. And once he cheated, I think at that point, Miss Nell jealousy got on over the moon, even when she took him back. Like, you got, and you think about it, she sat there for what, 18 months, almost 2 years? While this man went out here and sold his royal oats with the next woman, till he finally brought his ass back home and was like, "Oh, okay, I'm all right, I'm back." So that lets you know, like, what type of time she was on. So she sat there, she waited, he comes back. Yeah, she pissed. And yeah, she's jealous. So no, she ain't finna be okay with him really doing too much as it pertains to Lexi, because probably in her mind, she think he gonna be back trying to, you know what I'm saying, get something popping with Lexi mom. So Lexi ends up being the victim, and I'm sure Lexi's mom didn't want nothing probably to do. She had probably moved on, had a new whatever. But in Miss Nell's deranged ass mind, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, when a woman is in between a man and the relationship of that man and his child, 9 times out of 10, it's because they are thinking that that man probably want that mama, or just, yeah. And I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. And to me, that is so fucking trifling on his part, on her part. And then y'all sit on here and try to act like y'all got this perfect little family unit, like y'all just good. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, when they popped on my screen, I was like, something ain't right about them. I knew it. I knew it. So for her to come out and give all these intimate details, and I was just like, man, because that dinner scene never sat well with me. It never sat well with me. And I'm like, what? And the way she done broke it down about the money that Miss Nell keep bringing up, and that's another fucking thing. You talking about the one-time cash payout of, I think it was, don't hold me to this, I think it was 22,000 or 20,000, that was back child support that had to be paid to keep him out of jail, that Miss Nell paid for him. She gonna try to tell that girl that that was for her a new car. When they was talking about how all the in-house the kids over there with them got all these luxury cars and this and that. And when she asked about her getting a luxury car, it was, well, you got one out of that $22,000. And she explained what it was, and where it came from, and that it was old money for child support and this and that. And I'm just like, first of all, Miss Nail, shut your fucking mouth. Because that's not your daughter. And if that shit was reversed, you wouldn't want nobody opening their mouth about what was going on. Chris sitting there not saying nothing like a damn PUSSY. Whoo, Chris is, I'm telling you, I, Chris is not a man to me. Like on some real shit, he is not. When Martell would be going off, even to the point when he was yelling at Miss Nail and doing all that, that nigga don't never open his mouth and say a mumbling word. And when he done been asked about it, I forget what interview he did when he was even asked about it. All he could say was, she got it, she can hold her own, blah, blah, blah. They just go back and forth like brother and sister. Now you a bitch. That's what you are. You a bitch. That's why you can't stand up for her. That's why you couldn't stand up for your daughter. Because it is no reason why you shouldn't have been doing whatever you was doing for them children in the house. You should have been trying to do for that child outside the house. If all the other children were getting luxury cars, you could have picked up the phone. She might not even needed a car at that time, but you could have picked up the phone and said when she turned 6 or whatever the fuck, do she have a car? We getting, we getting the kids cars. Do you need help getting her a car? Something. Something. I just don't understand. Like, oh, sure, I'm triggered, y'all. These niggas be just having these babies, getting with these fucking women, and let the women dictate what type of relationship they gonna have with their child. And I will never, ever, ever in my life respect a nigga like that. And like I said, he already he's a bitch. We saw it. We see it on the show. Chris ain't never checked nobody about shit. He ain't never checked Martell about even stepping to his own wife. And people always be like, oh, well, Martell must know got some real dirt on him. Nah, I think that's just who this nigga is. After listening to Lexi shit, Chris just a bitch. He just is. He's not a man's man. He's not. He's soft as tissue paper. Miss Nell is definitely wearing all the motherfucking pants in that house. All the motherfucking pants. That's why when she going on her tangents and she mad and she this, he's sitting there just like he one of the damn kids. He one of the damn kids. And that's a damn shame. Because I'm going to tell you right now, them spoiled ass, entitled ass brats they done raised, if anything happened to either one of them, they're going to be fucked up because ain't now one of them in a position to step in. Miss Nell and Chris Fletcher gonna be 80 and 90, still trying to take care of them grown ass kids. It's always the one that you turn your back on, that go out here and really do some shit with their life. You know what I'm saying? Like Lexi, she went to college, graduated from college, has a beautiful family, husband, like stable, accomplished. Okay. Them the ones that y'all always throw away. Yeah. And then when some shit happen, you can't call them other ones. Chris, don't try to call her when you're on your deathbed or some shit. Oh, it's just it's 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 just crazy to me. It's crazy, and like I said, it's triggering. It's very, very triggering for me because I know firsthand how Lexi feels, and it sucks. I think she said somewhere in one of her videos, her dad was the first man that ever broke her heart before. And same, same. I never, it took me years to find self-worth in me. Yeah, to find self-worth in me because and I have, I have an amazing mother. Can't nobody tell me my mama ain't the greatest thing walking. You hear me? But as a young woman, a young girl, that's another story for another day. I'm not even finna go. Ugh. But anyway, I just really came on here to say I knew them Fletchers wasn't shit. I appreciate Lexi putting out this story about them. Um, she did a video the other day and said that he called her after, I guess, catching wind of the videos and said, "Let me tell my mama. Now get on there and tell my mama." Nigga, please. You got a lot of nerve. Woo! I'm telling you. And he probably only did that because Miss Neil told him to. Chris, you need to call her and tell she on there talking about your mama. You need to call her and tell her. What drunk ass. Let me get off here. Listen, I think, like I said, I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back and go through each one and really get through them. And from there, I'm gonna see if I'll come back and do like recaps of each one or whatever. But just kudos to you, Lexi. Kudos to you for coming out, telling your story. Um, you just that is it happens a lot more than you know. And yeah, it's kudos that you're able to sit there and talk about it, because man, it's tough. It's really, really tough. Um, Drop down in the comments. Let me know if y'all have been following Lexi's chapters. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, make sure you subscribe to her channel. Um, I think after the chapter, she's got more things coming, and yeah, I definitely am gonna be following her journey. So drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if y'all fooling with these Fletchers. Is y'all gonna fool with the Fletchers? Is y'all watching Love and Marriage Huntsville when it come back on? If it come back on, child, is it coming back on? Um, are y'all gonna be rocking with them? Like, let me know. Um, and yeah, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I just hit 700 subscribers. I'm so excited. I'm on the road to 1,000, y'all. Every subscriber counts. So, if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I have other, content coming. I talk about a little bit of everything over here. It's a whole smorgasbord of things if you go through my videos. So, yeah, come over here, catch the vibe. You know, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right. I'll holla.